Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you to Eyecelerator and the faculty today for the chance to present. We're excited to be here. My name is Adam. I'm the CEO of Trukera Medical. Before I begin, I want to just share an incident that occurred to me several years ago before I was with this company. And I was spending the day with a well-known cataract refractive surgeon, Dr. Ivan Mack, in the Charlotte area. And his staff caught us before a patient post-op outside the door and said, Dr. Mack, this is the 1 month bilateral multifocal. She's pretty upset. She says everything was fine the first few weeks. Now she's reporting that something must have gone wrong with surgery. The implant has moved. She's mad she spent all this money. And he flips through the chart, and with total confidence, he looks over at me and he says, it's actually really good you're about to see this next post-op. Because if a patient is dissatisfied with today's advanced cataract refractive surgery, reasons 1, 2, and 3 are ocular surface disease. I'm going to show you how we pre-identify this and what we do about it. So I'm going to come back to that story in a minute, but solving for that incident he was about to step into is why originally Tier Lab, our former name, was founded in 2008, to usher in an era of laboratory medicine, something so common in every other specialty of medical care today, in eye care, especially where it matters most, where refractive outcomes are being targeted, surgical decisions are being made regarding the cornea and its health. Since that time, today we've done over 25 million tests globally across 50 markets, and we believe our growth story is just now beginning. Recently, we announced the launch of a new product I'll talk about in a second here at this meeting in Chicago. We're very excited about our next generation system. The unique opportunity we have at the starting point of a corneal health conversation with so many doctors and their patients around the world also opens up an opportunity to expand where we're targeting additional unmet needs in corneal health. So we're very excited about that. For those two reasons, we realize we're no longer a one-product company, and we need a new corporate identity that better aligns to the expanding vision and portfolio we have moving forward. So here's why what we currently measure today matters so much. As you all know, high salt is naturally corrosive. Likewise, hyperosmolarity is compromising to corneal cell health. And as you can see here, healthy epithelial corneal cells, when left in the natural target range, about 290 to 300, look great. Within only 24 hours, when exposed in a controlled setting to elevated osmolarity levels, rampant cell death begins to occur. And we know how prevalent ocular surface disease is today from Dr. Tradler's research in the PHACO studies. Over 80% of patients in a cataract practice will present with at least one sign of OCD. And the thing is, you don't know which of those patients will be hyperosmolar, but a majority of them will be. It's important to identify that. And it's not just the elderly patients, but actually in the April issue this year of JCRS, the title study showed us in refractive age patients presenting for younger laser surgery, nearly a third of those patients had abnormal osmolarity that needed to be identified. And so here's why it really matters. In an era where everyone's pursuing the ultimate patient outcome and refractive results, we know that if a patient's hyperosmolar, 20% of the time, that can impact vision by as much as a single diopter up to 3 diopters, leading an increase to unexpected refractive outcomes. And this is the exact situation Dr. Mack knew that day he was stepping into. He had identified this in the chart beforehand. He had put together a plan to tune up the ocular surface prior to surgery, and he saw today the levels spiking. And he said a few magic words that I heard for the very first time, although I've heard every time I've had my cholesterol checked and all of my primary care visits, but the first time I heard it in modern cataract surgery. He said, ma'am, surgery is fine. The lens is exactly where we want it to be, but we need to talk about these lab results. That word, lab results. And he walked her through. Remember, this was high. We talked about it. I see it spiking. And he asked her a question, are you staying on top of your home therapy? And the patient said, no, I thought I could stop that once I had surgery. And so what started as a patient ready to blame the surgeon or the IOL turned into an apologetic and relieved patient that, yes, we talked about that. Okay, that makes sense. I need to stay on top of my drops and whatever prescription protocol she was on. So for all these reasons, this is why only a few years ago, the ASCRS Cornea Committee updated their preoperative algorithm for refractive workups, recognizing osmolarity as an essential test. So as I said at the beginning, we're approaching now our 25 million tests. The cataract refractive segment by far is the fastest growing segment adopting osmolarity today, but that means we got about 70–80% of the market ahead of us. And to win in today's busy premium patient experience models, we know we needed a solution that was portable, practical, and precise, which is why at this meeting we're excited to launch the new ScoutPro, the US first handheld portable osmolarity system. The secret sauce behind it is simple. Laboratory medicine really needs two technologies. a mechanism to consistently collect a specimen, and then a way of analyzing the specimen. And we've now integrated that into a single device that fits in the palm of your hand, built on top of industry-leading precision. By comparison, you can see how that looks relative to other well-known biomarkers and medical tests today. So in the last 15 seconds, I have a 15-second video to show you how efficient this is. This is our lovely office manager at Trukera, Lorinda. That first beep you heard is telling you a 50 nanoliter sample has now been collected. There it is. It's working its way through the microfluidic channels. In the next 5 or 6 seconds, it's going to do a real-time temperature analysis of the specimen, and then the quantified output, the analysis of the osmolarity reading. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing many of you throughout the weekend.